Hi again, everyone. Good morning and good Thursday to you again. I just finished posting a super emotional and video of some special thank yous, and now I want to talk to you about today's question about PCOS and diet. Of course, as you can imagine, this is a huge question, and I just want to reassure all of you that have bought a pre-order, I've made a pre-order of our book, The PCOS Plan, that of course this is what our book goes into in a great amount of detail. So not only do we go over what is PCOS, what are the diagnostic criteria of PCOS, how is PCOS currently treated, and how should PCOS be treated. So that's what we get into, right? Our book is a practical guide about how to reverse and prevent PCOS with diet and intermittent fasting. But nonetheless, I'd like to take this opportunity, and thank you all for sending these questions to me. I'd like to take this opportunity to share my thoughts with you, a bit of a summary of my thoughts with you. First and foremost, I would like to say that the fasting method, so this is the program that I work for, thefastingmethod.com, we consider ourselves to be an inclusive program when it comes to diet. All of us believe that really you can follow intermittent fasting with any diet because intermittent fasting is not a new thing. Intermittent fasting is a way of life that is always been followed by humans, whether they wanted to or not, whether it was because of religious reasons, because of seasonal changes, or whatever else. So intermittent fasting is something that you can and should follow no matter what your diet of choice is, or what your ethical or religious or cultural diet is, first and foremost. So I want to leave that out there. However, when it comes to women with PCOS specifically, and people really with metabolic syndrome in general, people that are insulin resistant, and I've talked quite a bit about this, the root cause of PCOS, obesity, diabetes, I've talked about it, Dr. Fung has talked about it, written about it, our program focuses on this. The root cause of all of these concerns is high insulin, an abnormally high insulin, which is a hormone that we want to control with diet and fasting. So what is the best diet for lowering insulin? This is what I think you guys want to hear from me. This is what I'm here to share with you. So we know that every single time you eat, you produce insulin. This is why intermittent fasting is so important, no matter what diet you follow. But we also know that different foods will produce a different amount of insulin, will cause your body to produce a different amount of insulin. So what do we know? We know that healthy fats produce the least amount of insulin, or an insignificant amount of insulin. So we encourage a diet that's higher in healthy fats, okay? We know that protein produces in most people a moderate amount of insulin. However, in people that are more insulin resistant, it's going to produce you're going to have a higher insulin response to foods. And I've talked a little bit about this, why people that are insulin resistant will actually produce more insulin to certain foods than people that are metabolically healthier. Okay, so we encourage a moderate but adequate amount of protein. Okay, and we can, of course, we go into this in a lot of detail in our program and in our books. Okay, and third, a lower amount of carbohydrates. Because carbohydrates, whether they are the different types of carbohydrates, different types of sugars, will all have a significant production of insulin. So it's important to realize this. So if I am working with a woman who has PCOS, I'm going to recommend a real food diet first and foremost. So real food, excluding all processed foods, removing sugar, removing grains, and removing all processed foods, including processed vegetable and seed oils. Okay, so this needs to be your first approach. Then we're going to encourage a lower carb, moderate but appropriate protein, and higher healthy fat diet. Now, I know the question that a lot of you are itching to ask, and many of you have already asked me, is it better to be plant-based or is it better to be a carnivore? And right now, you're going to have people rooting for both of these, right? You're going to have a lot of very good, very smart people in the field of low carb advocating for a carnivore diet because it works for them and because they've seen it work very, very well for their patients or their clients. And then you're going to have a lot of people for a whole bunch of reasons, ethical reasons and whatnot, rooting for a more plant-based diet. I am going to share with you my personal view. My personal view is that I do better with an omnivore diet, which is a combination of animal and plants. So I personally like to take these two and bring this into a real food dietary approach that focuses on lower carb, moderate and appropriate amounts of protein, and higher healthy fats. So this is what I work with people on. However, our program works with people individually. So if you are more plant-based, we're going to support that. If you're more animal food or even carnivore, we're going to support that. There's a lot of really good resources that we can share with you, and we can work with your intermittent fasting and either or both of these together in an omnivore diet. So this is my take on diets. Thank you so much again for all of your wonderful feedback. And tomorrow I'll be posting another video for my giveaway week for all of those of you that send in your questions. And next week I'll be back with something else. All right. Take care, guys. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.